Hey guys, it's Wendy. Um, I hope everybody's okay. And here we go with the news. From CNN Business, China is urging families to stock up on food as supply challenges multiply. China has stressed the importance of shoring up food and other daily supplies in the past, including in September ahead of a major week-long holiday period, but those statements are usually very obviously intended for local authorities to read and rarely capture the attention of everyday citizens. The inclusion of language in the statement mentions families, though appears to be putting people on edge. The sudden warning sent shockwaves through Chinese social media on Tuesday, as many people speculated about the Commerce Ministry's rationale. The government didn't even tell us to stock goods when the C outbreak erupted in early 2020, wrote one Weibo user responding to the news. Another speculated that authorities were reminding people that they might not be able to afford vegetables this winter. So strong was the reaction that some within the Chinese state media sought to quell concerns. The editor of the Global Times, a state-run tabloid, dismissed suggestions that the notice could be connected with rising tensions between Beijing and Taipei. China considers Taiwan an inseparable part of its territory, even though the Chinese Communist Party has never ruled the self-governing island. Republican Glenn Youngkin won Virginia's election for governor Tuesday night, a massive victory for the GOP after more than a decade of political losses in the state, and an indication of significant discontent with Squadron Chief and momentum for the Republican Party nationwide ahead of next year's midterm elections. Youngkin defeated Democrat Terry McAuliffe, a former Virginia governor in a state that Squadron Chief won by 10 points just a year ago, and the current governor Ralph Northam, a Democrat, won by 9 points 4 years ago. Youngkin was able to win back enough moderate Republicans and independents in the suburbs outside of Washington, D.C., around Richmond and in the Virginia Beach and Norfolk area. He did so by keeping his distance from former President T-Man without alienating those in the pro-Trump Republican grassroots. I know we all happy about that. Iran's Revolutionary Guard said on Wednesday that they thwarted an attempt by the United States to detain a tanker carrying the Islamic Republic's oil in the Sea of Oman. U.S. officials speaking on condition of anonymity said the Iranian report was not true and that there had been no American attempt to seize a tanker. The American officials said that in reality, Iranian forces had seized a Vietnamese-flagged oil tanker last month, and U.S. naval forces were just monitoring the situation. Squadron Chief took aim at President Putin of Russia and Xi Jinping of China for skipping the climate conference. I think it's a big mistake, quite frankly, for China not showing up. The rest of the world looked at China and said, well, that's what value are they providing? And they've lost an ability to influence people around the world and all the people at COP. The same I would argue with Russia, said Squadron-in-Chief. Throughout his career, Squadron-in-Chief has been reliably vociferous. The equally long debate has been about whether this helps or hurts his cause. Andrew Bates, Deputy White House Press Secretary, said in a statement, "The American people trust Squadron-in-Chief because he's straight with them about his thoughts and values." Is this guy kidding? I don't know anybody that trusts the Squadron-in-Chief. But I guess there is some people out there. During his news conference on Tuesday, Biden also put markets on high alert by making comments about reappointing Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. "We'll be making those announcements fairly quickly," he said. "It's been in train for some time," hinting he'll release a slate of nominees, perhaps not for just chair, but also members of the Fed's Board of Governors. Squadron-in-Chief added, "I think we're going to have plenty of time to make sure all the major nominees are ready." While Squadron-in-Chief's administration staffers work overtime to control their message, both domestically and abroad, the president has given an unvarnished view of his thoughts by letting fly during recent public appearances. 2 weeks before, during a CNN town hall event in Baltimore, the U.S. president had accused Saudi Arabia of keeping oil prices high in a bid for his attention diplomatically. He also speculated on the duration of elevated gas prices and freely shared details on private negotiation with key lawmakers over his proposed $1.75 trillion social safety net expansion. Spent 72 hours on endless calls digging out detail after detail based on private meetings, and it turns out Squadron-in-Chief was just going to lay them all out on the A block of the town hall. Pardon me, my allergies is acting up, guys. Just a year ago, in the last China report, the Pentagon had estimated China's nuclear arsenal to be in the low 200s and would at least double over the next decade. The new report demonstrates China is expanding much more rapidly. The accelerating pace of the PRC's nuclear expansion may enable the PRC to have up to 700 deliverable nuclear warheads by 2027. The PRC likely intends to have at least 1,000 warheads by 2030, exceeding the pace and the size of the DoD projected in 2020. And the PRC, or the People's Republic of China, is how the Pentagon refers to China. Just a year ago, in the last China report, the Pentagon had estimated China's nuclear arsenal to be in the low 200s and would at least double over the next decade. In December 2020, it was revealed that Russian hackers with the Nobelium Group breached the software company SolarWinds, allowing them to access data from the U.S. Treasury, State Department of Homeland Security, Department of Commerce, and Department of Energy. Last week, Microsoft said that Nobelium has hit at least 14 more technology forms since May. In April, the White House accused the Russian spy agency SVR of being behind the SolarWinds hack. The U.S. then expelled 10 Russian diplomats and imposed sanctions on 32 Russian entities, and individuals connected to hacking and disinformation network. Okay. The Times did not say which names were on the list that Squadron Chief gave to Putin. The White House did not immediately respond to insider requests for comment. Now, U.S. officials are waiting to see if the Kremlin moves to arrest the hackers. A U.S. official told the Times, which will indicate whether Putin is serious about stopping attacks on U.S. entities from Russia. There have been a flurry of damaging hacking attempts in the past 12 months. In July, the Russia-linked hacking group Revil, R-E-V-I-L, said it had carried out an attack on the IT management software provider Cassia, leaving more than 1,000 U.S. businesses breached. In June, the meat supplier JBS paid out an $11 million ransomware payment to Revil. In December 2020, it was revealed that Russian hackers with the Noblem Group breached software company SolarWinds. So, guys, it seems to me that, and this is just my opinion, you know what they say about opinions, and yes, that is one of my favorite phrases, that if it's not China after us, it's Russia. In which there's always been somebody after the United States. And it's been a fact of life since my great-grandparents were alive. What we need to do is stay prepped up, stay prayed up. Our preps will feed our body. Have our safety and stuff like that, where we stay prayed up, God will protect us. God also gave us the ability to prep. Though many Christians say, God's got me, God will protect me. Yes, He will protect you, but He also gave you the brain and the will to prepare yourself. Alright, guys, good night. God bless. Stay safe. Stay prepped up. And stay prayed up. I am going to go live tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock Eastern. Feel free to join. I'll try to drop the link. I'll be on my phone. And y'all want to join, get up on the panel and us just BS for a while, we'll do it. Good night.